The subject for discussion is the issue verbal abuse, confrontation, encounter, the complexities and ramifications involved in the same. First, there is the circles. You go around in the circle because the resistances will pop up. The phenotype, my height, my temperament, my conditioning, my past history, my appearance, my social relevance, my material backup. And it always seems to turn on the nice guy syndrome. I'm okay, you're okay. You win, I win. Now, that position is only said by someone who doesn't know how to fight for his rights. He doesn't even know what his rights are. He doesn't have any rights because he's not prepared. He's not postured to assert those rights and make it count and be heard. Positively, negatively, but to be effective is the key. That's a practical question. That's a street smart issue. He doesn't care whether he's heard positively or negatively. It really doesn't matter as long as the message gets across. He's got to be very careful because of the phenotype, the temperament, the height, the past social conditionings, that the old habits of humility, compliance, and complacency don't kick in and make a coward out of him. Verbal abuse has to be nipped in the bud quickly. It can quickly advance to a malignancy that's out of control. No question about it. In order to do that, though, you have to get out of the circle and think and behave linearly. You got to make a decision and commit to that decision 100% and say, whatever will be, will be. You're not worried about you're not resolving on any outcome or any results. You can only do this if you have no obligation. If your abuser, and you're the only one can say whether you've been abused or not. Nobody else can make that determination. If you have an obligation, if the abuser has given you something gratis, the string is now being pulled. That quote-unquote gift, that gratis gift now comes back to haunt big time. In order to be effective, you have to be alert and aware of what's going around you. It has to be under your decision every step of the way. You are in control. Whether you respond or react to the provocation. Sometimes you don't have an opportunity to respond with verbal judo, to set a common ground, to let the issue take precedent, to shrink the I, and so on and so forth. Sometimes the issue, many times the issue is the I in particular. And this type of verbal abuse and provocation comes down on the fly. It has to be responded to or reacted to, I would say, in the right way on the fly, but you have to be prepared. You can't be physically intimidated. You can't be socially intimidated. You can't be materially intimidated, or you cannot do this. Or you cannot do the right thing. The right thing being throw the verbal abuse right back, quickly, devastatingly, into the face of the abuser. And keep up the attack until you put out the fire of the man's threat. quickly, decisively, conclusively, no question. You have to be prepared. You have to have the will, has to be in the right place. You have to be coordinated to be committed 100% to whatever it is you're going to do, whether you want to respond or react. Something has to be done. You can't sit on the dime. I did it. I know what I'm talking about. You can't sit on the dime and say, well, I'm going to hang around on that dime and I don't want to hurt any interaction in the future. I want to be a nice guy. Don't make waves. What if I do this, this, and that? That's a circle now. This, and that will happen in the future. Maybe I'll lose out on some magical opportunity that will happen in the future. Bottom line here is you're only demonstrating the fact that you want things from social actors and you don't know you want them. But the social actor, your opponent, does know you want them. Even though you, by your behaviors, by the timidity in your voice, by your body language, that you're banking on the future. You can dangle a carrot. Here we go around that circle again. Nothing wrong with the circle. Some will say, think linearly. No, there's nothing wrong with the circles. The circles are where you're asking yourself all the tough, hard questions. You're doing your simulations, your workups, your investigation, your inquiry. Now, as a philosopher, that inquiry never comes to an end. When I'm doing my philosophy, I'm in an ivory tower. So that inquiry, I keep an open mind on that inquiry. You want to ask better and better questions, better and better formulate, and more effectively testable by me, given my resources. It has to be formulated in that way. And I have to keep challenging my conclusions over and over. That's called thinking against yourself. But if you do that, that's the circle. You will be a victim for the rest of your life. Take it from the man who knows. Then the next question, I'll conclude with this. The ultimate question is, can I live with myself over this? Well, can you? Don't do what I do. I want to be fair. So I'll tell my opponent's side, and I'll tell my side to a superficially interested third party. Well, let's be fair about it. No, it's not a question of being fair. My opponent will tell you it's politics, real world politics, Machiavelli. He'll tell you his side, and he'll make me look like the ass of the week, the Mameluke of the week. Why am I going to help my opponent by telling his side? Sure, he's got a side, and I have a side. The hell with him. He'll tell you his side, and I'll tell you my side. And when I tell you my side, I'd better tell it in such a way where I'm right and he's wrong. He'll tell you he's right and I'm wrong. Let the fight begin. Let's have a good fight, and let the devil take tomorrow, and let's see what will happen. Let's encounter. Let's see what will happen. Let's experiment in a now, and we'll see what will happen.